Hey, this is John. Welcome back to my Let's Play of Mechanical Mastery. In the last episode, we were working on getting more fissile fuel to turn into polonium, and we have done some of that. It's still not quite there. I added a couple more machines to produce more sulfur dust and more sulfur dioxide, and for a minute I thought it was keeping up. But that's because I hadn't increased the production of the fissile fuel yet, and once I did that, it's no longer keeping up. So, yeah. Now, I believe it is technically backlogging, so yeah, the production is increasing past our burn rate. So realistically, once we fill this quantum entangler which can hold 8,000-ish buckets of fissile fuel, we might be okay. So it's possible I don't need to do anything right now. We're just simply burning through all of our sulfur dioxide to make fissile fuel. So you can see for a short time I did think we were stable because we had like 700 buckets of sulfuric acid, but now we're down to 535-ish, so clearly not producing quite enough. But I think for the moment it is okay. I had to increase the uranium oxide production because this guy was not making it fast enough to make uranium hexafluoride to turn into fissile fuel. But now you can see fissile fuel goes up and then goes down. So he's producing pretty much as fast as we can generate, and our rate is going up past our burn rate. So for the moment, unless we run out of sulfur dioxide and this stops, I'm not going to worry about it too much. I did go ahead and change the XNAT system. He wasn't pulling out the fissile fuel fast enough. So since we have two inputs into that quantum entangler porter, I just added two outputs to the isotopic centrifuge. And where's that guy? Yeah, I added this guy, so he can now pull out twice as much fissile fuel at once. There's no way to go down on ticks beyond below 10, so I had to make another connector for this. But that pretty much worked for that. So I think we are stable on fissile fuel for now. There were a lot of problems I would look at between episodes. So we're actually going down in sulfur dust, so I'm a little bit concerned about that. I do have this thermal sulfur, but I don't want to use it. I'm using that for gunpowder, and we were actually completely out of gunpowder. Now we're getting this sulfur dust because it's a byproduct of sawmilling up the blaze rods, which we need to make the whatever it is for the level 3, the tier 3 essence. So alright, so this guy was not producing either. There was no more inert essence. I couldn't figure out why that was. That's because our blaze cake setup was not working. Somehow when I was rearranging things, I neglected to put the cinder flower guy back in here. We did not have any cinder flower. We couldn't make any more blaze cakes. So I went ahead and fixed that too. And then for the uranium, we weren't producing uranium fast enough, and we still may not be. So I added 3 flux linkage amplifiers here to see if that keeps up, and it looks like it barely is. He was down to like 20 ingots of uranium. If he is below 32, he wouldn't produce the yellow cake uranium, because this guy will only request the yellow cake uranium if he has enough to make his entire stack. So he needs 32 ingots of uranium to turn into the yellow cake uranium. I think that math works out. Whatever. I know I need half a stack of uranium at once to make this. So if he is completely out, he will not make any more until we have that. So we were too low on yellow cake uranium. But I think that is stable. I was going to turn him into a, what is this? This guy? Not this guy. This guy. But I don't think I need to do that right now. So what are we going to do then? Well, since things for the moment are stable, let's see how much antimatter we do have. We have 3/4 of one bucket. So, we're not doing terrible there on antimatter production. It is really slow, but it's basically just a waiting game right now. So, what's in the quest book? Alright, there's a lot of stuff in the quest book, I bet. What's in Tier 5? Okay, we have Automated Withers. We have got Nether Stars. We do not have these Ultimate Singularities. We don't have any antimatter pellets. How do we get those guys? We need to take a chemical crystallizer of antimatter. What is the use for antimatter? You can make wither skeleton skulls. You can make quartz blocks from wool. We won't be doing that. There are a few interesting recipes. I don't think we'll be doing... There's a lot of transmutation stuff. Turning a beacon into an N crystal. Interesting. If I was going to fight things, having enchanted golden apples might be cool, but I can't imagine using that right now. I don't think I have any use for chorus flowers or crying obsidian either. Crossbows. We can make tridents. Again, wouldn't need that either. We can get dragon heads. That's kind of cool. Again, not something I would probably do. I have no idea what phantom membranes are. I don't know much about the phantoms. Make dragon eggs. Okay. Again, I don't think that we need any of this stuff. So basically that means there's no other use for antimatter other than antimatter pellets. So realistically, we could go ahead and make this chemical crystallizer and just turn all of our antimatter into antimatter crystals. So I don't think antimatter is radioactive. So let's go ahead and break this guy and destroy my base. Oh good, I was right. Yay. So we either need to put the antimatter somewhere or put a chemical crystallizer over here and then just crystallize the antimatter. So I think that's what we should do. So can we make a crystallizer? Wait, is this the one I want? No, I want this guy for mechanism. Okay. He would need fluorite. Okay, that's not a terrible recipe. We can make that stuff. There we go. Chemical crystallizer. Do we need, for quest purposes, a bucket of antimatter? We do not. Okay, so we just have to get this antimatter pellet. Alright, that's fine. So we can put the chemical crystallizer right here. And on the side config, let's say that your gases, you are input on all sides. You are getting antimatter. Let's go ahead and flush this tank. So your side config, let's have you output on the bottom. Okay, there we are. You have that much antimatter, and I'm going to wrench you. And then we're just going to give this guy power, and he'll make the thing I need. So let's get a flux point. Turn him on. Put him on the right network. I don't know how long he'll take to run, but the antimatter generation is going to be way slower than this. So I don't think this needs any upgrades at all. So we'll dump the antimatter in here. He'll crystallize it, and we'll have a pellet, soon. I need to go back to sleep at the end of the night because we don't get any polonium unless it's daytime. So we'll go back and do that. And yeah, there we go. So backing up on polonium because of the backup of the nuclear waste, but he will turn nuclear waste into polonium very, very quickly. So there we go. No more nuclear waste, and then polonium, it goes down over the course of the day. So if I sleep through the night, we are usually fine. If I don't, then we're, not. But yeah, there we go. Okay, so this will be a process, but we should hopefully have our first antimatter pellet soon. And we can use that to make one of these chemical tanks, this creative chemical tank. And once we get that, we won't have to make any more antimatter because we'll be able to have just an infinite supply of it. So we're coming up on really cool endgame stuff. Like this is going to be, like I could have called this series Infinite Resources 3 because this is going to be the first time I actually will have infinite resources. Like, you know, I've had a lot before, but we're getting the creative stuff now in non-creative mode because there's these cool recipes to make them because of this complicated stuff you have to do to get it. I really like the progression of how this pack works out. But it also requires final star shards, so we can't just get antimatter. We have to do these too. And to do that, we're going to need nitro crystals. Don't know what those are. And we're going to need ultimate singularities. The ultimate singularity is going to be a problem because we need like tons of ingots and other resources. Like we need a ton of lapis. So we have some lapis. We have like, I don't know, 2,000, 8,000. I don't know what we're making. But over in the crushing wheel, we were making lapis if we had something less than... I want you to go down, but not in the void, please. Let's see here. So, yeah, we're keeping 2,000 lapis on hand. So we probably haven't made a lapis in a long time. We've got 7,000. But how much do we need of this? We need 1,000 lapis to make one singularity, and we need more than one singularity. We need like lots of them, I think. Yeah, I don't remember how many we need, but I know we need more than one. So we're going to need 1,000 lapis just for one. We could easily make it with this, but actually I don't want to. And the reason is that we also need more sulfur dust. Oh, wow, we are wholly out of sulfur for mechanism. Okay, since we need so much lapis, I thought we might try a different way of getting sulfur, because we can get sulfur by induction smelting lapis ore. And if we did that, we would get the sulfur. That's good. Sorry, the lapis. We also get sulfur at a 75% chance, and it is boostable. So I like that idea. I don't know if we need rich slag, but we'll look into that a little bit too. So let's go make an induction smelter, and let's see what we can do about upgrading that guy. So let's craft one of you. It's kind of slow. And I want an integral components for him. And I don't know what augments I want. I'm going to want some kind of augment, but I don't know what else we want. Do we want linkage amplifier to make him faster, or do we want to boost him for sulfur? I think I want to boost him for sulfur. So is there a, what is that thing called? What's the augment guy that I want? It's this guy, the auxiliary process sieve, isn't it? Yeah. Increases non-primary output production. So let's look. Do I have any of those? I have 3 of those. I was using that for something at one point, so I'm not using it anymore. I think I was using it in the seed maker. So where are we at for machines? We've got machine space over here. So here you go. Here you go. There you go. All right, so you already have an energy card in you. We want to put lapis in you, and what are the boost abilities of the induction smelter? That's what I want to know about. So uses for him. Here we go. That's what I want. I wanted to know about catalysts. So calcite, I want the highest auxiliary modifier. So cinnabar is a 3x. So is blaze powder, which we're already making. So that's pretty good. Sand, Oh, wait, I'm doing the wrong thing. Never mind. I saw 7.5. I thought it was wrong. Okay, Cinnabar Dust is somehow better than Cinnabar. We use it faster. And Rich Slag is 2.25. So looks like Blaze Powder is probably our best option here. It's our best auxiliary, our least used chance, and our best energy modifier because it takes 25% energy to do this. That kind of makes sense. So let's set you to be an input on the back. Let's give you an item card. And let's give you, what do I want? I want a counting filter. And I want to insert lapis ore. And I don't know, we'll just say 8 because we always say 8. And we'll get blaze powder. And we'll say 8 of that as well. Channel 1. Okay. Now, is there any chance we're exporting blaze powder anywhere over here? Because I'm thinking the answer is probably no. I know we're not getting lapis ore, so let's do that. Okay. You do get lapis in there now. So let's see about blaze powder. Oops, wrong thing. There we go. Yes, you get blaze powder now. Cool. You're getting rich slag and lots of sulfur. That is fantastic. So we're going to simply give you an extract channel as well. Let's extract you to channel 2, round robining, and let's always extract. So let's see if you keep up if I dump this all in the system. Do you need an overclocker? You do. Okay, so let's get one of those. Or maybe, 4. We've got lots of resources. We may as well use them. There we go. There we go. Okay, so now we have tons of sulfur. Sulfur should be automatically turned into the sulfur dust from thermal. So that should make sure I have plenty of gunpowder, which is already good, but we're getting way more of this sulfur dust. So I'm going to turn one of these guys. Oh, I took the sulfur off. That's right. I'm going to turn one of these guys into a sulfur dust guy. Okay, so let's see if just doing that will help our sulfur dioxide production. So we were just barely keeping up, and then we weren't. So now we are increasing our production of sulfur, maybe. He appears to be burning through our sulfur. Let's take you down to 8. And then let's see what happens with our sulfur production. Now, here is the problem. We're not actually processing this fast enough. So what can we do with the sulfur to get the sulfur dust? You can go into a pulverizer to make sulfur dust. Is there anything faster than that? There's not. Okay. So realistically, we should probably stop pulling the sulfur dust in the system and just make a dedicated pulverizer for this guy. So why don't we look into that? Let's get a pulverizer. We have one. I don't know why, but we do. And let's say that your extract is going to blacklist sulfur. So let's get a basic filter. And this should be a deny list of sulfur. Okay. And then we'll put this in your extract card. And now your sulfur stays there. So you should be an input. You should be an output. And you should auto output to the right. Okay, cool. All right. You are set to not run, but I want you to run. Why are we doing that? Oh, you can pulverize lapis. Okay. Okay, I don't think that will happen, going forward, but we will check on that. If it's a problem, we'll handle it. I think he just happened to have lapis and he kept getting lapis in there, but I don't think it'll happen going forward because he should just have a backlog of sulfur to go in here. Actually, you know what? It probably can. It probably can. Okay, let's use laser IO instead. So you be an input-output. We'll put him on a higher priority to receive the sulfur. So yeah, we will just have a dedicated pulverizer for the sulfur, and that's what we will input into. So I think that'll work. Let's get a filter, and I want you to insert only sulfur, please, from channel 1. Okay. You seem to be filling up with sulfur, so that sounds good to me. You are no longer cooking because you have nowhere for your outputs to go. That's fine. I need you to stop refusing to output sulfur. Let's erase this, and let's just chuck you somewhere. Okay. So we are now going in here. Okay. So we need to take this sulfur dust out of here. So let's take, oh, not that. Let's make you an extract on channel 2. Okay, there we go. Now he is not yet fast enough to need overclockers, but I'm almost certain that he will. Why, oh why, do I not have a pattern for those? Let's go make a pattern. And let's get some overclockers. So, there we go. Thank you. Put this somewhere over here. Okay. There we go. And you know what? I'm just going to keep these in stock because why shouldn't I? I seem to need them enough. Oh my, what's why are you getting any of this stuff? You should be an extract only. I don't know how that happened. Okay, he's fine now. Okay, there we go. Always have overclockers. Okay, I need an integral component. Oh, you already have one? Oh, you are as fast as you can be. Okay, well, then I guess we're good there. You don't need overclocker either, do you? I may have to make more of these guys. How much sulfur do we have? We are not going to keep it with one pulverizer. Yeah. Okay, I'll make more. But in the meantime, yeah, this is what we're going to do for sulfur right now. Just because we need so much of this, I might have him run on a redstone signal, and then we can turn him on or off. Do we have the system somewhere over here? We do. Okay, let's turn him on when we need sulfur. Let's get a detector. And let's say if you have less than, I don't know, X sulfur in the system, you will run. So if you have less than 256, we'll run. Okay, and you don't, so you won't. So then we'll work through our backlog of sulfur. We'll see if I need more pulverizers. This guy appears to be stable right now. Let's see here. Is he going up or down? He's like right on the edge of stability. He's going down just slowly. So I will need one more pulverizer. But I'll do that between episodes. Anyway, wrapping up point for today's episode. Hope you enjoyed it. Hey, have you tried leaving a comment? I hear YouTube likes that. I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.